Hello everyone, and welcome to this episode of Nasdaq Spotlight. I'm your host, Jack Castle, and joining us today from the Nasdaq Entrepreneurial Center in San Francisco is the founder and CEO of Omni, Colin Zima. Colin, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
So let's start off. Tell us a little bit about Omni and the solutions you provide.
Yep, so we were founded last March, so we're a pretty young company. We've already got a product out in the market though, so it's been going really quickly. We're trying to build the next great analytics platform. So I have over 10 years of experience in the space. I've led product at Looker, and after they got bought by Google, it left us an opportunity to go explore a lot of the things that we didn't get to there and sort of extend them and go bigger. So we're trying to build an analytics platform that can be really productive for data people and can also be really productive for non-technical people, and try to really balance that.
Okay, and you just announced that you actually made Omni commercially available to the public less than a year after founding. So how's it going so far?
It's going great. I mean, it's hard coming from a place where we were just working on a tool for a decade and it was kind of one of the winners in the space to go back to zero and rebuild it from scratch. But the advantage that we have is that having gone through all of that experience as a company before, we're able to rebuild it back the second time better and faster. Mm-hmm. So we started really building kind of middle of last year, and we were able to get to kind of a fully featured BI tool and start getting customers in it and things like that, and kind of really started that early this year. And now it's really a process of trying to build on the differentiation we have, which is, again, like really trying to balance great power for technical people with really, really simple experiences for non-technical people.
Yeah, and my understanding is Omni does continue to learn and grow as it's used. A lot of what the trends we're seeing right now in AI. So question for you is, how do you see AI impacting the business going forward?
Yeah, I mean, I think it remains to be seen how deep it's going to get into sort of every single product, but I think you're going to see a little bit of these language models in actually every single product that you use. And I think in some ways, a lot of people are approaching the data problems as, we'll put a language model on top of your database and it'll just sort of magically work. And that's superficially appealing because it's sort of just like magic will solve all my business problems. I think the reality is that the best products that are using AI have humans in the loop. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of the core ideas that we have are about these really technical people building a data model that explains how all of the data in your organization actually fits together. And if we can actually prepare those models with this sort of curated, governed pieces from the data team, and we can actually marry that with what end users are doing in the platform. So what is a sales rep looking at? Mm-hmm. What are the sort of fields and sort of concepts that they care about? I think once you have those building blocks underneath, that is when the sort of intelligence can start to be unlocked and you can really kind of do a lot more on top of the platform.
Yeah, very exciting. Now for you, coming from a few larger scaled enterprises and now as a founder, would love to get your advice for the entrepreneurs or other founders that might be watching today, especially given the climate we're in.
Yeah, I mean, there's the obvious, like you need to show the value of your product. So I think especially as a young product, a lot of the core of getting off the ground is finding those 20 people that absolutely love the product. Mm-hmm. And I think the sort of interesting experience having gone through this from like a really young company, I was actually one of the first customers of Looker. So I was sort of one of the true fans that eventually joined the company and said, kind of, this is interesting, now can I help sort of bring it forward? And I think almost the most important thing that you can do with a company is create an enormous amount of value for a really small number of individuals. Yeah. And as you start doing that, on one side, you get these advocates that are out there sort of selling your product for you, but those are the people that are also helping us refine our model. So like with our product, we really started trying to build this product that solves my personal problems. It was really this balance between kind of wanting to be productive on my own as a technical person and move really quickly, and then also wanting to build a lot of balance for the entire company. Like something governed that anyone can self-serve with. And now what we're doing is actually testing that thing that we are building is actually the same problem that lots of different people have. Mm-hmm. And once we can sort of unlock that really unique experience for all of those different people that say, like maybe I loved Tableau, but I didn't love this sort of aspect of it, or I love Looker, but I didn't love this aspect of it. If we can sort of unlock that piece and show those people that we can do those things, that sort of gives us the opportunity then to find the next person and the next person. And it's sort of just kind of taking it slowly, which I think is kind of hard, but kind of obsessively solving a problem for those first few users.
Yeah, that's great perspective. I appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on today's show.
course.
It was short and sweet, and you nailed it. And congratulations again for being selected to the Enterprise Tech 30 list this year.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. And thank you all for tuning in to this episode of Nasdaq Spotlight.